That is hadith number 1527. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: كل المسلم على المسلم حرام دمه وعرضه وماله. Bottom line, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, the blood, the honor and property of a Muslim is inviolable for another Muslim, is sacred for another Muslim, isn't to be touched any harm. What again? Blood, honor and property. In and under the authoritarian regimes, they take on some people for personal reasons and they confiscate their wealth. Those people are doomed to hell and they will be in trouble. But I'm a layman. I have nothing to do with it. When I show joy and delight, when I applaud this act, I share the sin, even though I didn't take a penny out of their wealth. So one has to be very careful with what they say. I'm watching the news. Okay, confiscating the wealth of so and so. Why? We all know those people, they do it for a reason or another, and their advertised reasons are all fake. Those people started from the scratch. They pay their zakat dues, they pay their taxes, but people love them. We don't want that. We don't want any competition. So they confiscate their wealth. I'm just giving an example. It's not only by pulling the trigger and shooting somebody in the brain or in the chest or in the foot. You know, we know there's something called diya, there's something called qasas, and there is something called equality in punishment. وكتبنا عليهم فيها أن النفس بالنفس والعين بالعين والأنف بالأنف والأذن بالأذن والسن بالسن والجروح قصاص. This is way before even Prophet Muhammad had been sent. Equality in punishment. You break somebody's tooth, will break your tooth. You injure somebody, you will be injured, and so on. You break somebody's nose, the punishment is to break your nose. By law, equality in punishment. You kill somebody, al-qasas, capital punishment. So before thinking of harming any person, you think about the harm which will be inflicted upon yourself. Okay, so you're willing to hit somebody with a car? You're willing to break somebody's arm? You know that's going to be your arm, not only that person. So the perpetrator, before acting, would think many times, and that would ward them off from the evil act. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whether the blood, whether the money, whether the honor of a Muslim is all sacred. Is all sacred. In Islam, there is something called luqatah, lost and found. When I found a nice phone, I know that this phone cost $900. I was in the train, I was on the bus, and somebody forgot their phones and they left. I sat in their seat. I found their phone. I found a purse which has 10 grains, which has a nice bracelet, which has. What do? I say, lucky me, it's my lucky day. And you take it and you go home, you're a thief. In Islam, you're a thief. I found it. I need to look for the owner of this property. And I need to announce it based on its value. If it is something valuable, I need to announce it for a year. And even more for some valuable items. And afterward, I don't take it for myself. No. I don't just grab it and I say, lucky me. No. It belongs to somebody and it has to be rendered back to the genuine owner. This is Islam. So the wealth of a person, even if it is found in the street, it's not yours. It's inviolable. It's sacred. The blood, whether the life or anything beneath it, is sacred. Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, looking at the Kaaba, and he says how great you are, how sacred you are, yet the sacredness of a Muslim is greater than you. We as Muslims perceive the Kaaba as the greatest building on earth, and it is the symbol of God's house. It is the ancient house. We all know that. But the destruction of the whole Kaaba is a lot lighter than taking the life of a single Muslim without right, without justification. When people are absent-minded, when people are not being educated in the deen, when people are authoritarians, when people look only for one thing, which is rulership and position, they neglect all of that. They take the lives not of tens or 20s or millions of people. Look what is happening in Syria. Those are Muslims for the past 9 years living in tents in this extreme winter. What happened to their, what did the Prophet ﷺ say? كل المسلم على المسلم. Everything about a Muslim is inviolable for another Muslim. His blood, his honor, and his wealth. The media machine. In the Muslim world, we have mainstream media machine worse than Fox News, worse than the 700 Club, much worse. And it is funded from the public fund, from my money and your money. We have the mainstream media who is totally directed to stereotype Islam, bash Muslims, practicing Muslims, giving them all sorts of terrible names, serving the enemies of Islam by giving them excuses to accuse Muslims of being terrorists. All of that is to secure the seat, is to secure the rulership. Most foolish human beings, most foolish human beings, because sooner than you can imagine, you would leave not just the seat, but life at large. And you would leave with an indefinite amount of curses that will chase you until it will settle you in hellfire. Then you will be required to pay all those people whom you confiscated their wealth, whom you've taken the lives, whom you've thrown in prisons for years, for decades sometimes, whom you discredited them and their honor and their women. It's not worth it. But I'm not only talking about the big sharks. I'm also talking about myself, because sometimes we get involved in that. Among that is when you read some news, fake or true, I'm not sure. I don't have an access to verify. So I just click like, and I press share, and I share the sin right away. Imagine, with your fingertip, you click like, you click share, you share the sin. Like also when there is some good news, a reminder of fasting the white days, a reminder of reciting Surah Al-Kahf, a reminder of making dua during the time of ijabah, and you click share. 1,000 people got your message. 10% out of whom 100 people acted upon it. Lucky you. You share their word. You know, brothers and sisters, we're about to begin the new chapter, which is not only the prohibition of backbiting, but many sisters have called before and said, sometimes I'm sitting in a meeting and a couple of sisters are doing backbiting to another person. So if I'm just sitting, I'm not saying anything, am I blameworthy? Well, this chapter number 255, will be addressing this matter.